After a year away, we found ourselves drawn back to the stunning landscapes of New Zealand. Fresh off a flight from Tasmania, we were ready for our next adventure. This time, instead of heading north to Auckland, we decided to explore in more detail the incredible beauty of the South Island. We flew from Australia into Christchurch, eager to embark on a journey that would take us through some of the most breathtaking natural scenery on the planet. Our first stop, Lake Tekapo. As soon as we arrived, the mesmerizing blue waters of Lake Tekapo greeted us. It felt like stepping into a postcard, crystal clear waters framed by the surrounding mountains. We couldn't resist hiking up to the observatory, where we were rewarded with panoramic views of the lake and the Southern Alps stretching into the horizon. The sheer beauty of the landscape was almost surreal: deep blues, rugged mountain peaks, and the stillness of nature all around. After an exhilarating 12-kilometer hike, we took a well-earned break at Tekapo Springs, where we soaked in their soothing hot pools. The water was perfectly warm, and the setting, a blend of natural beauty and serene tranquility, was the perfect way to relax. In the evening, we wrapped up the day with a delicious meal overlooking the lake, as the sky turned shades of pink and gold, reflecting off the still waters. It was one of those perfect days where every moment felt magical. The next day, our adventure continued with a private horseback tour with Backcountry Saddle Expeditions. This was one of the highlights of our trip. The owner, Debs, greeted us with such warmth and friendliness, making us feel immediately welcome. The ride itself was nothing short of spectacular. 2 hours of peaceful trails through rolling hills and mountains, with nothing but the sound of the horses' hooves and the soft wind through the valley. It was an intimate experience, giving us time to truly soak in the beauty of the surrounding landscape. If you ever find yourself in the area, we can't recommend Backcountry Saddle Expeditions enough. This was easily one of the best horseback riding experiences we've had on our travels, and we would highly recommend it. Next, we headed to Queenstown, often referred to as the adventure capital of New Zealand. The town itself is lively and vibrant, surrounded by towering mountains and the shimmering waters of Lake Tekapo. But rather than indulge in adrenaline-fueled activities, we opted for something a little more serene. We chartered a small plane to fly us to Milford Sound, one of New Zealand's most iconic destinations. The flight itself was an experience to remember. As we soared over the Southern Alps, the landscape transformed beneath us: glacial lakes, vast plains, snow-capped peaks, and lush green valleys all came into view. It was as if the land was telling its own story, every mile offering something new and awe-inspiring. Upon landing in Milford Sound, we boarded a boat to tour the fjord. The sheer cliffs rising from the water, adorned with cascading waterfalls, were majestic. We were lucky to visit on a rare sunny day, which made the entire experience even more special. The sunlight glinted off the water, turning the fjord into a sparkling wonderland of nature. It's easy to see why Milford Sound is considered one of the world's great natural wonders. After our unforgettable time in Milford Sound, the return flight to Queenstown was equally breathtaking. We were treated to sweeping views of rugged mountains and shimmering lakes, the colors of the landscape intensified by the afternoon light. It felt like a fitting conclusion to our adventure, with nature's grandeur unfolding beneath us until we touched down in Queenstown, reluctant to leave the beauty behind. Back in Queenstown, we rode the Skyline gondola up to the top of Bob's Peak for some of the most stunning views of the region. With a drink in hand, we watched as the landscape below came alive in the evening light. Distant mountains, the glittering lake, and the energy of Queenstown far below. It was the perfect way to unwind after a day full of adventure. Afterward, we returned to the lively town center, where the mix of locals and travelers created a vibrant atmosphere as everyone enjoyed the beautiful weather. After our time in Queenstown, we made our way to Te Anau, often referred to as the gateway to Fiordland National Park. This region feels like it belongs in another world, with untouched forests, expansive lakes, and towering peaks everywhere you look. We spent our time here hiking through the ancient forests, where every step brought us deeper into nature. One of the highlights of the trip was visiting Mirror Lakes, a serene spot where the perfectly still waters reflect the surrounding mountains like glass. It was truly a breathtaking scene, and it added to the otherworldly beauty of the area. It was a peaceful reminder of the simple beauty that New Zealand has to offer, being so close to nature in its purest form. From our cozy home on a working farm, we also ventured out to McCracken's Rest, a remote coastal area known for its windswept beaches and dramatic ocean views. The drive itself was a scenic journey through rolling hills and rugged farmland, setting the tone for the natural beauty that awaited us. There's something deeply calming about standing on a nearly deserted beach, with nothing but the sound of the waves crashing against the shore, the salty breeze filling the air. We spent time exploring the rugged coastline, feeling completely immersed in the beauty of the untamed wilderness as seabirds soared above and the horizon seemed endless. It was one of those moments that make you pause and truly appreciate nature's raw and peaceful simplicity. On our way back, a spontaneous stop led us to the Clifton Caves, a series of limestone caves hidden away in the countryside. Riza, ever the adventurer, decided to explore the caves, and she was greeted with a thrilling surprise deep within. A moment she won't soon forget. The experience was both exciting and a little eerie, but it was one of those spontaneous adventures that made the trip even more memorable. On our journey home, we encountered local wildlife, including herds of cows and sheep grazing freely in the meadows. It was a peaceful reminder of the simple beauty that New Zealand has to offer, being so close to nature in its purest form. Our final stop on this journey was Dunedin, a city brimming with historic charm and picturesque views. We rented a lovely bungalow that overlooked the local bay, and the town itself felt like stepping back in time with its beautiful old buildings and relaxed atmosphere. One highlight was visiting Larnac Castle and Gardens, where the grandeur of the architecture and the meticulously kept gardens made for a truly enchanting experience. Our final excursions of our trip back to New Zealand was another horseback riding adventure through Harehill Horse Tracks, where the mountain trail offered breathtaking views over the valley below. A memorable and well-organized tour from start to finish, and a great way to end our trip. Our journey through New Zealand's South Island was nothing short of incredible. The landscapes were breathtaking, from serene lakes and majestic fjords to lush forests and charming historic towns. Every moment felt like an adventure, filled with natural beauty and unforgettable experiences. We highly recommend New Zealand's South Island. It's truly a magical place. Thank you for joining us on this unforgettable journey through New Zealand's South Island. We hope you enjoyed the adventure as much as we did. Stay tuned for our next video, where we head to the beautiful island of Fiji.